What is going on, guys? Rodney here with Crypto Bros. It is Monday afternoon, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some good projects that could see some good movement in February. Now, I'll tell you this right now, I haven't named this video as of this second. I could easily do a very clickbaity title that says, coins that'll make you a lot of money in February and it'll get a ton of clicks. That's never my goal here. I'll also say that there are so many good buys today out there right now that you could almost pick any of the top 50 coins to be a great pick heading into February and be correct. The three that I'm going to get into today, I will talk about in just a minute. But what we're going to do is we're just going to scroll down these top 50 here on CoinMarketCap, and I'm going to talk about a couple of the pricing points. A lot of good moves to be made, guys. And I'll also, but before I jump into that, I'll say when we catch these lows, right, there's a lot of red here. Another down market day. When we catch these lows like this, what makes holding these coins easy and not panic selling is knowing what the project is, knowing what it's about. That's why when if you have something you really believe in or really like, you typically won't sell it when things turn ugly, when the market makes a turn, when things make a downshift. So that could be a blessing and a curse depending on what it is. But on the stuff that I'm really into and I've well researched and invested my money in, like, I don't panic when we see a 10, 20% drop, 50% drop, because I believe in that. Now, I didn't want to go on this rant, but also at the same time, if I'm really invested in Turd Coin and I really believe in it, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm right if I hold through a downturn. It could totally turn out to be a crap coin, and I would have invested all that time and energy into something that sucked. But having the peace of mind and knowing the facts behind the coin really help you hold through some of these shittier times. So anyway, we just kind of scroll through the market. Ripple $1.20. Cardano 54 cents, Stellar Lumen 44 cents, EOS still doing pretty well here at $13, NAM 92 cents. Oh my gosh, Dash 725. I'm also going to mention that I'm not able to make a ton of purchases within these next few days here, guys. It's part of the way that the world works. You don't have endless amount of monies to get in there, but I think this is such a dirt price for Dash. It's insane. Icon 763, another good buy. Ethereum Classic, I want this to be one of my picks for February. I think they have some really cool stuff coming out. I think it could run a lot, but that's not in the video today. VeChain has really been the only coin that's held up during all this downturn. Omisego, you guys know that I love. Binance Coin, good buy. Coin, good buy. 0x is in today's video. Great buy at $1.61 in my opinion. KuCoin shares under $8. I think that's a great play. That is not in today's video. Dragon Chain at $2.30. I feel like that's a freaking deal. That's not in today's video, even though I would love to scoop more of that up. Loop Ring, great buy. And in today's video is Salt at $7.02. So there's a ton of good picks out there today, guys. It's all a matter of what you're into, what you've researched, and the first one that I'm going to get into is Salt. Now, if you don't know anything about Salt, it is a lending platform, and I'm not talking about like BitConnect or anything. This is something where if you needed cash, but you sit on a bunch of Bitcoin or a bunch of Ethereum, you could give this to the Salt platform, and they would use that as like collateral. They would hold it. So if you needed a $5,000 loan of cash money to do whatever it is that you want to do, you would give them 2 Bitcoin or something like that to hold as collateral. You'd get your cash, you'd pay your bills, you'd have a party, whatever it is, and then when you pay that cash back, they give you your cryptocurrency back. That's not what today's video is about. But what I've heard, and I caught this on a Jacob Canfield video, is that, and I've been pushing this for a while. Like, if we went over to my YouTube page, I made a video around Salt like in 2017. But what I've heard was that they have already out $1 billion worth of pending loans that they're going to be lending out and taking collaterals in for that. That's such a huge amount of money. And if we look at where this is at right now, at $7.02 and literally not even quite a $500 million in market share, I think there is a ton of upside for this to go as their lending platform continues to gain traction. So that is my number 1 pick. My number 2 pick for February is 0x Protocol. I've talked about this coin a bunch of times here in the past. When I did my $1,000 investment in coins a couple weeks ago, this was one of my picks on there. Um, they have a ton of things going on. There are a lot. I mean, you can actually see right here. These are all projects that are being built on top of 0x. They're basically a decentralized exchange that are letting that are allowing for ERC20 tokens to be swapped at a super cheap cost. They kind of put the onus back in your hand. Blah blah blah. There's a couple other projects that are like that, but why I think that this one specifically has potential to run in February and beyond is just because of who they have on this team. Like, there's some pretty cool name guys in here. There's a dude from Twitter. There are some dudes from Apple, but it's actually these four advisors on the board. So and I've said this before, so this is nothing new, but we have the co-founder of Coinbase. We have the founder of Polychain and then the first hire at Coinbase. We have the founder of Augur, and then we have the previously PM at Coinbase. So what I'm about to say is a complete guess, but I'm thinking at some point down the line, this 0x protocol will be somewhat integrated in Coinbase, and this is what would maybe bring more coins onto Coinbase and for a cheaper cost. Some of those transaction fees that everyone bitches about on Coinbase can be solved in this regard, especially with some of these ERC 2020 tokens that can be swapped for super cheap. So I don't know if and when this will ever happen, but if you look, it is here. You can maybe draw some type of ideas. Maybe it's not this month, maybe it's not this year, but I think at literally $1.61. Let me find it here. At $1.61 price and not even quite a $1 billion market cap, I think there's plenty of room here to go, especially when we're moving towards all of decentralization. I mean, look at that. Ironically, Augur is right above it. So my number 3 pick, and I don't have my tabs in order, but my number 3 pick is IOTA. Now, IOTA did some wild stuff towards the end in terms of movements and price points. Did some wild stuff towards the end of 2017. It's still sitting in the number 11 spot with a little over $6 billion market cap, but at 230, and we've seen the high all the way up to $5. I think there is some room to run here with this coin, not only from a technical analysis standpoint. If we kind of flip over to the charts, by no means am I any type of, sorry here guys, whoa. Totally butchered that. By no means am I any good at this whole technical analysis thing. Man, I did not mean to do that. Holy cow. But if we look at what's going on, just from like a very beginner level here, we can see that we have some higher lows forming. We have this triangle it's forming, and of course, I mean, like everything lately has kind of been in this downtrend. Aside from a few, but we could see a breakout at some point. And what I've heard is that there is some pretty substantial news coming out in mid-February. Now I don't know what this is. This is technically like a rumor of a rumor. So I don't necessarily know that this to be true. But if I'm looking at the consolidation period and what this coin has been through, like it's been off the charts for quite some time in terms of like popularity and people talking about it. And in terms of these long consolidation periods, like this is where people usually pick up their positions and are able to make a better return because they are acting on the coins that no one's talking about. If you're buying into coins that everyone's already talking about or already making moves, you've technically missed the boat and you're buying into a rally. So at $2.30, a chart that kind of looks like this and a rumor based on some big moves in February, I think this could be another solid pickup. And I've always liked IOTA. I get that, I feel like there's two camps. People that love it or they hate it. And the technology with it being a Tangle ledger, but free or feeless, transactions and able to move that are all cool things. And I definitely think they have their work cut out for them. But for coin number 3, I think IOTA could see some definite movement here in February based on the little pieces of information I know. And to be completely transparent here, so if I want to scroll here, so I'm getting ready for my video today, and I just found it ironic that Crypto Kelly posted an update on the IOTA chart. She basically said that it's overdue, but IOTA coin itself and the charts is not looking bullish. And what we could see is basically drop even farther down here, which wouldn't necessarily mean a bad thing. That would just mean if you are a fan, it would mean that you would have a better entry point or a better buying price than some of these other guys. So anyway, those are my three. Some other notable coins that I think have some room to run, and one of them is actually on Coinbase, or I'm sorry, is on KuCoin, and it's actually what I found ironic is while I was on one of these websites, and the banner for Tel, which is the coin that I'm about to be talking about, was up on there. So Telcoin is very similar to Dent, where they're doing that whole worldly mobile phone thing. So it's a very similar project to that, and currently well below a penny. And with the popularity of these super dirt cheap coins in the last 30 days that people love to buy some. I mean, Dent's only 3 cents, but there could be room for some serious potential. And word on the street is they have a pretty dense and deep team on this coin. Let's just pull it up here if I can find it. Oh, there she is. So right now, down 17.5%. It's showing a penny on CoinMarketCap. It is much lower than that, but there could be some room to run here, or even if you're not invested in these projects, at least make a bet in the near future that we could see some run here. So that's one that I definitely look into. I've already talked about Dragon Chain. I think, wow, down to 220. I just think this would be such a huge pickup here coming out of or into late January and into February. In the video that I shot last night, I talked about once we kind of transition out of January, historically what we've seen are some hearty lows, some bearish trends. We've seen it with Bitcoin. We've seen it in years past. We've seen it in cryptocurrencies for the last 4 years. I think once we kind of transition out of January, we're going to see a lot more positive and upward movement. So taking these opportunities to get in while these buys are super low can be highly lucrative for you in the future. And I'm saying that not to push or pump anyone's tires here, because there's a lot of people that on one hand are super into the technology, and then there's a bunch of people who are just looking to make a bunch of money. So depending on what camp you're in and how you fall, I think there's a lot of good things to come after we kind of transition out of January. So anyway, guys, that being said, that is all I have for you this evening. If you want to pick up any of the coins that I had talked about today, you can get Salt and IOTA on Binance, and then you can get 0x also on Binance. Telcoin is here. Telcoin is on KuCoin, and then also Dragon Chain. And there's a bunch of other good pickups here today, guys. I really don't think that you could go wrong buying anything within the next 10 hours. Neo at $114, Monero under 300. I'm actually wickedly surprised on how cheap Dash is right now. Would love to just be able to buy one full Dash. Lisk is super cheap. Even though VeChain is still holding its own, I think this is such a tremendous buy long term that I just don't think that you can go wrong. They're literally incorporating some real world uses in a handful of different industries. I just think that it's got some serious potential. So really, anything in the top 50 is super great buy today. And I could have picked a handful of different coins. I'm not saying it was tough. But I know a lot about the coins that I talked about, but there's just a ton of good buys out here. So I don't think you can go wrong with whatever you decide to go with in the top 50 today. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for you. As always, if you are finding these videos helpful, by all means, hit the subscribe button. We have a super great and growing community. Also, if you missed my videos from the last couple days, if you want to try to win one of these two, I'm giving away 2 of these hats, and if you want to try to win one of them, I'll post a video here at the end. It just basically says go to my Facebook page and like it, or go to my Twitter page and retweet this post and follow me, and you will be entered to win a hat. I'll cover all that in the video, but other than that, you can pick up the coins on Binance. My referral link is below if you want to use that. That's awesome. If you already signed up, which you probably are, no big deal there, guys, anyway. But thanks for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow with another cryptocurrency video. Enjoy your evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow.